Welcome to your Tech News Today, the Monday through Friday podcast about keeping you informed and empowered by giving you the latest tech stories that impact your daily life. We'll get started in a moment. First, we'd like to recognize our partners who help make these podcasts possible. It's Wednesday, December 19th. I'm Mike James. Coming up in a bit, we'll tell you how victims of porch pirates are fighting back. Plus, as far as technology and cars, there's a new sheriff in town, and a new shopping mall security guard might catch you off guard. All that and more on Tech News Today. We start with some genius ways to fight porch pirates. You're going to love this, especially this time of year. There's all kinds of stories of crooks who steal packages that are delivered to the front door. And some clever victims are now fighting back. Former NASA engineer Mark Robert put his skills to work and came up with the perfect revenge scheme. It took him 6 months to create a fake Apple HomePod package to use as bait. When someone steals the box, they're in for a huge surprise. The package has a GPS built in that lets him know it's on the move and where it's going, and then it activates 4 hidden phones that take video of what's about to happen. Oh, it gets better. Once the thief opens the package, then glitter shoots out in every direction. Fart spray then blasts every 30 seconds, which of course is going to convince the thief to throw the package away, which then gives Bob a chance to go pick it out of the garbage and reuse it for the next thief. I know. Wow, it took a rocket scientist for all this. We need more rocket scientists. That's not the only example, though, of people taking these matters into their own hands. A Pennsylvania man told a local news station that he had had several Amazon packages stolen from his porch and was sick and tired of it. So he filled an Amazon box with smelly cat litter because he has 4 cats running around. He said the litter inside the box, quote, stinks like the devil. He later caught a woman on security cameras stealing the box. Unfortunately, there are no video cameras of her opening the package to find those beautiful presents. Pranks like these might make crooks think twice. If you've ever had a package stolen off your front porch, it gives you that warm, fuzzy, Christmassy feeling inside, doesn't it? Great idea, and hopefully we hear more of this. Well, could you ever imagine Hyundai being a leader in high-tech vehicles? Probably not. Companies like Tesla and Mercedes-Benz are more likely to come to mind, but Hyundai is about to introduce some pretty amazing tech themselves. They're set to debut a system that lets drivers unlock and start their car by scanning their fingerprint. Not only that, but the vehicle will be able to adjust personal settings customized to whoever unlocks it. Now, if you're the driver, the seat position will adjust to your liking. The angle of the rearview mirror will be set just right, and down the road, more customized settings will be added, like temperature controls, humidity, and steering wheel settings. So that's pretty cool. The system is expected to be introduced in early 2019. Hyundai Santa Fe is expected to be introduced early next year in the new Honda Santa Fe SUV. A fingerprint scanner will be built into both the door handle and the ignition, which makes this technology different than other car companies. Some Tesla models give drivers the ability to start their car with their fingerprint, but the scanner is built into an app on their gadget, not in the car itself. One reason this has taken so long to have scanners on cars is it's the battle against Mother Nature. Sunshine, rain, cold weather, and snow all present big problems for fingerprint scanners. But Hyundai developers seem to have figured it all out. But let's face it, we've got to be careful with all this technology in our cars. What they're doing is they're keeping track of us. They're keeping track of where we go, what we do, what we say, and it's all just to sell us more stuff that we probably don't need. Just ahead, mall security is going RoboCop. But first, let me tell you about our partners at SimpliSafe Home Security that help make this podcast possible. SimpliSafe is a fantastic security system. With SimpliSafe, there's never any hidden fees or long-term contracts, and because they want everybody to feel safe in their homes, SimpliSafe prices are always honest and fair. Round-the-clock professional monitoring will bring the police anytime there's even the slightest hint of a problem. And there are 6 monitoring centers across the country, which means nothing, not even earthquakes, floods, or tornadoes, will interrupt your protection. SimpliSafe is built for the unexpected, just loaded with safeguards. It keeps working even during local power and Wi-Fi outages. Even if a burglar smashes your keypad, the police will be on their way. Plus, the system is so easy to use. It's incredibly intuitive, and it takes only minutes to set up in your home. Just open the box, plug it in, no drilling, no wires. Order your SimpliSafe system right now at simplysafekim.com. That's simplysafekim.com. Well, there's a new sheriff in town at the mall in Los Angeles called The Block. In the next couple of weeks, a high-tech security guard will be patrolling the shopping center. It's actually a robot that's going to help beef up security. It has cameras and audio recording devices built in it to capture everything going on around it. But don't worry, it's not taking any jobs away. Well, at least yet. The unnamed robot is being added to the security team that's already in place. Here's Dan Cody, general manager of The Block.
It's picking up video footage. It's picking up MAC addresses. So it's able to pick up a lot of information that humans just aren't capable of.
So this robot's going to be patrolling a beat at the block for a while. If successful, this is definitely the way of the future. So if you've always dreamed of being a mall cop, I know, your dreams might be dashed. There's not too many pets that don't get freaked out when fireworks are popping off all over the neighborhood. But New Year's Eve is coming up, and it's inevitable. It's pretty common for dogs and cats to go into hiding on the 4th of July or New Year's when the fireworks start. Well, now Ford may have come up with a solution. It's built a doghouse that uses noise-canceling technology to block out the sound of fireworks. The kennel is able to detect explosions and then counteracts them by pumping out frequencies that block those frightening sounds for the dogs. Doghouse is already built with soundproofing, cork panels, anti-vibration risers, along with ventilation that's been soundproofed. It also has an automatic door that lets the puppy take shelter fast. It's only a prototype now and not on the market as of yet. I'm sure it's not going to be cheap when it does come out. Google is, of course, the #1 search engine in the world, but it's so much more than that. With flights, you can plan the perfect vacation. With maps, you can navigate through unfamiliar cities. And now Google wants to help you with dinner plans. Google is testing a new feature that lets you book a reservation at restaurants. Right now, it looks like 2 options are being tested. There's a reserve a table button along with a tables tomorrow button. One researcher said he tested them both, and the only difference he spotted was the reserve a table button defaults to a 6 p.m. reservation on the day that you're making the reservation. The tables tomorrow button defaults to a 7 p.m. reservation on the next day. Makes complete sense to me. So soon, we won't even have to pick up the phone to make a reservation. It's such a pain. I mean, you have to dial the numbers and talk to people. Coming up, you thought sextortion scams were bad. Wait until you see what scammers are doing now. Right now, a quick thank you to our friends who helped make this podcast possible. Yeah, we've talked about sextortion scams before. A hustler sends random people an email claiming to have video of them watching porn. They threaten to share the video with everyone in the person's contact list if they don't pay a ransom. And that sextortion attempt is bad enough, but things got kicked up a notch. Listen to this. Now, crooks are telling victims that if they don't pay a fee in Bitcoin, they will be executed. I mean, how crazy is that? These emails started showing up this week, and like most scam messages, they're full of grammatical errors. I'm sure they'll get better soon. The sender claims to be the owner of a dark website that offers very particular set of skills. He says a hitman has been contracted to kill the recipient of the email, but since the contract is worth only $1,200, he's willing to offer you a way to save your life. You just pay $4,000, and the hit will be called off. But the deal doesn't end there. If you do pay, the sender also says he'll reveal who the customer is that wants you dead. At this point, there's no reports of someone falling for this scam. Hopefully it's obvious enough to spot from a mile away. If you do ever get a message like this, best thing to do is just ignore it or report it to the police as soon as you can. Well, Well, we all remember the TV hit series The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Of course, it aired in the early 90s and starred Will Smith. The show spawned plenty of pop culture references, but most memorable is a dance called the Carlton. Do you remember the Carlton? It came from one of the show's characters, Carlton Banks. Carlton was super uptight, and it showed in his dance moves. So folks have been mimicking it for years, and now it's shown up in the popular Fortnite video game. The dance is called the Fresh in the game, and players can purchase the move to help customize their character. Well, that hasn't set well with the actor who played Carlton. Alfonso Ribeiro is suing the makers of Fortnite for using the dance move and not paying him for it. His attorney said Epic Games hasn't even asked Mr. Ribeiro for permission to use his likeness and iconic intellectual property. Fortnite has already raked in over $1 billion, so who knows? Ribeiro could be in for a pretty good payday. By the way, once you're done listening to our podcast, do us a favor and give us a great review wherever you're listening to us. It helps more people find us, and we do thank you for that. Finally, for today's Commando Kicker, you may have seen Knickers, the giant cow who was a viral sensation a couple of weeks ago. And from pictures of Knickers, you may have thought that there couldn't be a bigger cow around. You'd be wrong. One Canadian farmer claims that his super steer is an inch taller than Knickers. This one stands at over 6 feet 5 inches. Like Knickers, Dozer has been saved from being turned into a hamburger because of his size. He ended up at a farm after a vegan woman bought and saved him from a beef-producing location in Alberta. So I'm sure we'll have more cows in the news on the way. For more fun and interesting facts, go to Commando.com and search for the Commando Kicker. And that's your tech news today. Hope you enjoyed it, and check out our other podcasts.